Ever notice how some travelers glide through airports looking effortlessly put together while others seem stuck in their own personal travel nightmare? The difference isn't luck or flying first class, it's knowing exactly what not to wear. After years of observing airport chaos and talking to flight crews, I've identified 7 clothing mistakes that can completely derail your journey. One of these mistakes is actually dangerous enough that medical professionals are issuing warnings about it. So let's dive into the travel outfit disasters you need to avoid at all costs. Last week at Los Angeles International, I watched a woman approach the security checkpoint wearing what looked like a perfectly normal outfit. She had on a stylish metal necklace, some trendy bracelets, and boots with decorative hardware. 30 seconds later, the metal detector was screaming. Off came the jewelry, still beeping. She removed her belt. The alarm kept going. After 20 minutes of back and forth, 3 pat-downs, and a complete bag search, they discovered the culprits were her underwire bra, the metal grommets on her boots, and tiny metal details on her jacket that she didn't even know existed. This scenario plays out thousands of times daily. Every beep creates a domino effect, lines back up, stress levels spike, and innocent travelers become the person everyone's glaring at while fumbling with clasps and zippers under pressure. The psychological weight of holding up an entire security line is intense. The biggest troublemakers aren't always obvious. Sure, chunky statement jewelry will set off alarms, but the sneaky culprits include underwire bras, oversized belt buckles, decorative studs on clothing, hair accessories with metal springs, athletic wear with metallic threading, and those Instagram-worthy ankle boots covered in buckles and hardware details. Security agents privately admit that layered jewelry and decorative belts cause the most consistent delays. The solution is surprisingly simple. Choose accessories made from wood, plastic, or fabric materials. Select clothing with minimal metal hardware. If you absolutely must wear that statement piece, pack it in your carry-on and put it on after clearing security. Your fellow passengers will silently thank you. Picture a businessman on a red-eye flight to Tokyo, literally dripping with sweat just 30 minutes after takeoff. He's wearing a polyester dress shirt and synthetic pants. For the next several hours, he's constantly shifting, tugging at his collar, and mopping his forehead with napkins. By hour 3, his jacket is off, shirt unbuttoned, and he's desperately fanning himself with the safety card while everyone else is comfortable. Here's what's happening. Synthetic fabrics like polyester, nylon, and acrylic are absolute torture chambers at 30,000 feet. They trap heat and moisture directly against your skin, preventing your body from cooling itself naturally. You're essentially wrapping yourself in a fashionable plastic bag. Aircraft cabins are kept between 65 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit, but the humidity drops to desert levels at 5 to 20%. That dry air should help you stay cool, but synthetic materials trap sweat with nowhere for it to escape. This creates a clammy microclimate between your clothes and skin that leads to constant discomfort, skin irritation, and prevents restful sleep. Your body works overtime trying to regulate temperature, weakening your immune system and intensifying jet lag. Flight attendants witness this daily. They see passengers in polyester constantly complaining about temperature, while someone in natural fibers sitting right next to them is perfectly comfortable. The fix is choosing breathable natural materials. Merino wool tops the list for travel fabrics because it wicks moisture, regulates temperature naturally, and resists wrinkles and odors. Other excellent options include bamboo, modal, high-quality cotton, and linen blends. Now for the serious health warning, deep vein thrombosis affects 1 in every 4,600 passengers on flights over 4 hours. DVT is a blood clot that forms silently in your leg veins. If that clot breaks free and travels to your lungs, it creates a pulmonary embolism that can be fatal within minutes. The biggest controllable risk factor is restrictive clothing. Those skinny jeans, tight leggings, or anything with a constricting waistband might look great, but they're actively working against your circulatory system during flight. When you sit motionless for hours, these garments compress major blood vessels and reduce circulation to your lower body. Blood begins pooling in your legs, flow slows dramatically, and dangerous clots can start forming. This creates a perfect storm. Extended sitting causes something called venous stasis, where blood flow naturally decreases. Add tight clothing that squeezes key pressure points like a restrictive waistband, compressing abdominal vessels, or skinny jeans constricting your thighs. And you're creating ideal conditions for clot formation. Even compression garments designed to help can become dangerous if they're incorrectly sized or worn improperly, creating tourniquet-like pressure points instead of promoting healthy circulation. Warning signs are subtle and easily dismissed as travel fatigue. Your leg might feel slightly swollen or tender. Skin could feel warm to touch. You might notice minor redness. These symptoms can rapidly escalate to major swelling in one leg, sharp cramping pain, and skin noticeably warmer than your other leg. Any flight longer than 4 hours dramatically increases risk. The solution is non-negotiable. Choose loose-fitting clothing that allows healthy blood flow. Think comfortable joggers, wide leg trousers, flowing dresses, or relaxed fit pants. If you want compression socks, which is smart for long-haul flights, ensure they're properly fitted with graduated pressure that's tightest at the ankle and gradually loosens up your leg. Flight 1742 from New York to Miami. A passenger wearing her signature designer perfume boards the aircraft. It's a scent she loves and receives compliments on regularly. But in the pressurized cabin, it becomes overwhelming. Within minutes, passengers are covering their noses. 3 people request seat changes. A woman with asthma starts wheezing and needs her inhaler. The flight attendant has to politely ask the passenger to attempt washing off the fragrance in the lavatory. Pressurized recycled cabin air acts like an amplifier for scents. A light application at home becomes an overpowering assault in an enclosed metal tube. Air filtration systems don't eliminate fragrance molecules, they circulate them throughout the cabin. Your personal scent bubble now affects 200 other people. Nearly 35% of people report fragrance sensitivities. For them, it's not just annoying, but can trigger severe headaches, nausea, or respiratory distress. The extremely dry cabin air also alters how scents are perceived, often making them seem much stronger than intended. These situations create real tension between passengers and crew. People become angry when trapped next to overwhelming smells that make them feel sick. The solution doesn't mean going completely scent-free. Choose subtle personal fragrances that don't project strongly. Solid perfumes or perfume bombs work beautifully for travel. Essential oil roller applications are another excellent option. If you prefer liquid fragrance, select something very light like citrus or soft musk and apply sparingly hours before leaving for the airport. Airlines absolutely can and do remove passengers for dress code violations daily. A woman in Florida was denied boarding because her crop top was deemed too revealing. A man in California was removed because his shorts were considered too short. A college student missed her graduation because an airline declared her athletic wear inappropriate. These aren't isolated incidents. Airlines maintain the legal right to refuse service based on their dress codes. The problem is enforcement is completely inconsistent. What passes on one airline might get you banned from another. It depends entirely on individual gate agents making split-second personal judgments with no clear written guidelines to follow. This creates a dangerous minefield where you never know if your outfit will cause problems. The financial consequences are devastating. If denied boarding, you face rebooking fees potentially costing hundreds of dollars, lose money on non-refundable accommodations and event tickets, potentially costing thousands because a gate agent disapproved of your clothing choice. Airline policies use frustratingly vague language like appropriate attire or offensive clothing without defining what these terms actually mean. Common items that trigger problems include shorts above mid-thigh length, tank tops with very thin straps or revealing cutouts, any clothing displaying profanity or controversial messages, and yes, certain types of athletic wear can be problematic on specific airlines. These incidents often go viral, transforming a private travel headache into public humiliation. The prevention strategy is simple. When flying, choose conservative clothing. Select items that cover shoulders, chest, and thighs adequately. Pack backup options like a cardigan or lightweight pants in your carry-on. If ever challenged, you can change quickly without argument. This story should concern every traveler. A man walking through Kennedy Airport was wearing a luxury watch, carrying a designer bag, and sporting expensive sneakers. 2 hours later, security found him in a bathroom stall with zip-tied hands. Everything valuable was gone. Professional thieves had spotted him immediately upon arrival, followed him through multiple terminals, and waited for the perfect moment to corner him in an isolated area. Airports provide perfect hunting grounds for criminals. The chaos of millions of people offers ideal cover. Travelers are stressed and distracted by gate changes and security procedures, making them vulnerable targets. These thieves are experts at identifying high-value marks by scanning crowds for obvious designer logos, expensive watches, and luxury handbags. They know exactly which items have the best black market resale value. Your designer accessories aren't just fashion statements. To professional thieves, they're signals advertising easy money. Top targets include luxury watches, especially recognizable brands, Designer handbags from prestigious fashion houses, high-end jewelry, and anything displaying prominent logos or brand markings. Filing insurance claims for stolen luxury items is a lengthy, frustrating process with no guarantee of full compensation. The smart approach focuses on discretion. Choose high-quality items that don't broadcast their brand names across terminals. Opt for classic understated designs instead of pieces covered in obvious logos. Keep valuable jewelry hidden beneath clothing, or better yet, leave your most expensive items at home entirely. I sat near a passenger on an 8-hour flight to Berlin who was miserable the entire journey. She boarded wearing a thick wool sweater, heavy denim jacket, and lined winter coat. She was sweating before takeoff. Mid-flight, when the cabin temperature dropped, she was shivering in just her tank top. During descent, as temperatures warmed again, she was back to overheating. By landing, she looked completely exhausted. Air travel is a temperature roller coaster that most people prepare for incorrectly. You transition from warm terminals to freezing jet bridges to cabins with constantly fluctuating temperatures, then must deal with weather at your destination. Wearing bulky coats seems logical, but it's actually the worst approach. Heavy layers trap heat during boarding while you're crammed in your seat, making you overheat. Then when cabin air, which is pulled from outside where it's negative 55 degrees and artificially warmed, starts circulating, your heavy layers feel inadequate when cold and suffocating when warm. You never find comfortable middle ground. This constant temperature battle is exhausting, prevents rest, and increases overall travel stress, intensifying jet lag effects. The secret is strategic lightweight layering using a systematic approach. Start with a thin, moisture-wicking base layer like a shirt made from merino wool, bamboo, or high-quality cotton blend. Add a breathable mid-layer such as a zip-up cardigan, lightweight fleece, or cashmere sweater. The key is something easily removable. Your outer piece should be versatile like a large scarf, pashmina, or packable jacket. A quality scarf is the ultimate travel tool, functioning as a blanket, pillow, or extra warmth layer. This system allows instant adaptation to any temperature change, maintaining comfort from curb to final destination. So there are 7 outfit mistakes that can transform your dream trip into a disaster. But now you have insider knowledge to avoid everyone. Before your next journey, critically examine your usual travel outfit. Are you making any of these mistakes unconsciously? That favorite metal necklace, comfortable polyester shirt, or those form-fitting jeans could be setting you up for problems. I want to hear your experiences. Share your travel outfit disasters in the comments below. What piece of clothing made your trip miserable? Which mistake from this list surprised you most? If you want more insider travel intelligence that will revolutionize how you fly, make sure to subscribe. Remember to travel safe and travel smart.